everybody, how are you? I am in the car and there has been so much information coming into my awareness, and I feel really called to share it in case it will help someone. The sense that I'm getting is that we are in a very strong, or many of us, we are in a strong rebirth portal. So it's almost this place within the energy of things that we can access, especially with the Aries new moon coming up on April 20th, paired with the solar eclipse. There is just so much energy around this idea of, and in alignment with the springtime here in the US, is this idea of rebirth and an opportunity to get a turbo boost into this new way of being that has been coming for quite some time, that so many of us have been kind of in the trenches of this deep healing, this shadow work, the healing of the darkness and the transmutation of that darkness into light, and recognizing the part of that kind of death and rebirth cycle is facing the darker aspects of, I don't want to say who we are, but I guess the darker attachments that have become attached to who we are, if that makes sense. So it's this idea that we are this pure being of light, and that the nature of this 3D existence, as we choose to incarnate here as humans, the nature of that is that there are these kind of darker energies, these painful energies, these things that essentially give us contrast so that we can fully step into and embody the light. And in order to do that in our humanness right now, we have to embrace the contrast of the dark and light, the contrast of the shadow self and that which we truly are, the light, our true essence, a soul, divine soul incarnating into this human body, and recognizing that we chose this, that it is on purpose, and that the point is to actually get to this place of being in relationship with our divinity, and then bringing that through form. And the way that we do that is through this vessel, this vehicle that is our body, that is our humanness. And so the message is really about this idea of rebirth, this opportunity to embrace the humanness, to embrace our humanity, to embrace the pain, the suffering that maybe shouldn't have to be a part of this, but that is because of what has transpired in the past that kind of got us to this place. And so regardless of the stories, the narratives, the reasons why, it's accepting that, hey, here we are, we're in this place, and it would behoove us to accept that, to utilize that reality to fuel our growth, and to fuel our ability to use that desire to grow. And that desire to grow, which gets into the visioning and the dreaming and the really thinking about what wants to come, really allowing us to then anchor back into the here and now, in this now moment. Where am I I at today in this human body? And how can I utilize my growing awareness, my emerging awareness of all that is true, of all that wants to come to be, that wants to come through me, through us, through the collective. And in order to really manifest that, we must truly embody the here and now within our bodies, connected to all that is, connected to our beautiful soulfulness, to our beautiful divine soul that is connected to everything that came before, that will come after. We are all one. And so it's this idea that how can we work with that energy, the possibility of all of that all of that holds, that we all hold within us, because we are that soulfulness. And really allowing ourselves to have permission to say, no matter what has happened in the past, we are allowed to feel good, to enjoy this incarnation and this experience. And as we allow ourselves to be in that energy, it's almost as if that energy in and of itself is contagious, and that it will have a ripple effect that it is not ours to control, a ripple effect that will happen, and that really does bring it back to the importance of us as individuals choosing to work on ourselves so that we can more readily access this true potential energy that is going to carry us forward into this new way of being. This new way of being wants to come through, and it's wanting to come through now. And the idea here is that we have, I almost see it as a creative heartbeat, right? This way of our soul's unique way of expressing itself. And when we deny or dampen our creative heartbeat and its total expression, its whole expression, its true and unguarded, unlimited, fully expressed expression, when we truly allow that to come through, instead of dampening, instead of denying, instead of keeping ourselves small or not believing that we hold that power, if we choose to recognize and give ourselves permission to express that, we allow for this just natural flow of that divinity, of that beautiful expression of light and of our soul to flow through our vessel and bring it into form. And so the example that I was given was, I make jewelry. And so something with that is that each piece of jewelry, right, that I create, there's more to it than meets the eye. So, and of course, everybody's taste in jewelry is different. But if you find a piece of jewelry, and perhaps it's mine to be beautiful, right? It's beautiful on the surface, and at the same time, there's all of this energy, this creative flow, driven and powered by the creative heartbeat of my soul that encodes it. So it's almost this live transmission, this live exchange of energy. So the piece of jewelry, while it seems to be just a beautiful piece of jewelry, it holds the tapestry of my soulfulness. And so when you are holding that, if you're connected to this idea of we are all energy, that in and itself can be a live transmission of my creative expression, my creativity, my creative soulfulness that I'm committed to expressing. And that is an example of the way that our divinity, that divine inspiration, comes through us, through our hands, through our physical, tangible creations. So it's almost this tool or mechanism from which our divine nature is able to go from the intangible to the tangible. And so when we think about that, right, that brings this level of preciousness to all that we do, to all that we create, to all that we say, to everything that we are. And so that might even be for someone who loves cooking, you know, putting their own mark on a recipe and allowing their intuition to help guide the seasoning, and then that expression of that creativity coming through. And that is where I'm being shown is almost this miraculous energy and that ripple effect that we can't even comprehend what is happening with that with our human mind, because it's of a higher vibrational energy, and it's something that the guides, that the angels, that the universe in and of itself, that God, that source is all taking and creating magic with. And so sometimes it's less about having to make these big sweeping movements and decisions and motions, and focusing more in on how can I create with ease and grace, with connection to my soul, and allowing that beautiful pureness to flow through my being, to flow through my vessel, and to inspire everything I do, everything I create, everything I say. And so bringing it back to the beginning of this idea of the rebirth is there is almost this concept of unlocking a key coming through, where the key to unlock the door to your rebirth portal lies within. And it lies within this beautiful creative expression of true potential that your soul came here to express. And for now, I'm going to leave it at that. And I feel as though Spirit really wants me to come through with some sort of healing and activation. And so when it feels like the time is right, and when that is coming through me, I will share it with you. Have a wonderful day. And may we all be on our beautiful journeys and be able to tap into this opportunity of rebirth. And to know that this is not something that is to be feared, or a message that you're going to miss out if you're not feeling it. It's just for those of you that are feeling it. Utilize it if you feel called. If you are feeling those feelings of the opportunity of a rebirth, of a new way of being, follow those nudges. There's really no more need to dampen your light, to not believe that it's possible. If you are feeling it from your heart, within your body, it is true. Take care. I love you all. Bye.